Sunday of this month.
Yeah.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we do thank you for this day and time, for covering and keeping us, for blessing us, paving a way for us to get here safely. We thank you for answering our prayers and covering our loved ones. Thank you for everyone that returned up from the trip, Father, that the travelers be safe despite the weather situation. Now we ask that you bless our teacher on this morning, Father. Speak to him. Open up his heart and mind to speak the word and the lesson that you have him to teach. Continue to bless our pastors. We ask that you keep him uplifted and strong. Cover him and his family household. Bless everyone here at Faith Tabernacle right now, Father, as they come and as they go. I'm going to say Jesus Christ. Amen. As I said, we're finishing up our last lesson for this month and this quarter. Last lesson is going to be called Judgment and Exile. It's going to be coming from 2 Chronicles, chapter 36, verses 15 through 21. And then it's going to come from Psalms, chapter 137, verses 1 through 6. If you will, if you please, our very own John Gregory Newby is going to do his lesson.
Yes, lift him up. Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's been a while since I've been up here teaching.
Yeah.
But I'm here again.
There you go. You're here again.
And like today's lesson, as Deacon Rice mentioned, the lesson is called Judgment of Exile. So we know what exile means. We know that exile means you're banished from the land. You banished from the land. Judgment means you got evaluated. And your evaluation didn't go too well. And that's what happened then with the Jews. They got evaluated.
Right.
And
they failed.
And they failed miserably. But that's what happens when you don't listen to what's been told to you.
Right.
And then so we're going to get right into it. It's called Judgment and Exile. Now the scripture comes from 2 Chronicles, 36 chapter 2, 15 to 21. And Psalms 137 to chapter 2, 1 through 6.
Yes.
And the golden text is, by the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, we wept when we remembered Zion. And I got something for that towards the end when we get to that chapter once again, because y'all saw this little movie before. I'm gonna tell you, but I'm gonna get to that later.
Okay.
But y'all know this movie, y'all know. So once we get there, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So, and the 3 points they was talking about was compassion.
Yeah, God's compassion.
Complaint and conquest.
Yeah, that's what.
And God was showing compassion, and the conquest, we saw it showed what was going to happen to the wrath of God.
Right.
And it's funny how it happened too, because you wouldn't think that would happen, but
no,
it happened.
Yeah.
And then the complaint is they just started just remembering the good old days type of thing.
Too late.
Yeah, those were the days, but it's too late for it.
Yeah.
So we will move right along into the lesson. And can somebody read just read verse 15 for me? Just verse 15.
I'll go ahead and do that. And the Lord God of their father sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Now, before I elaborate on this, I forgot to mention, I call them the 4 kings of Philly, because it was 4. If you read the first chapter 4:15, it talks about the kings before Zedekiah. And I would like to share them with you first. Joaz was the first one I saw, and he was 23, and he reigned for like 3 months, and he done evil in God's eyes.
Yeah, right.
Joachim was
Yeah.
25.
Jehoiakim, yes.
Jehoiakim, yeah. That's a joking number. But Jehoiakim
Right.
was 25. He reigned for 11 years and he was held captive by
Yeah.
Nebuchadnezzar
Yeah.
to Babylon. Now notice the trend here between the other four kings. I call them the four kings of Philly because they all failed.
Right.
The evaluation.
Right.
So then we go to Jehoiakim. And he was 18. Now notice all these kings were young, so they ain't had no wisdom before they became king. They got appointed by Nebuchadnezzar.
Right.
Like, you gonna be king now.
Right.
They ain't had no time to develop they skills or none of that, or how to rule, or even got to study to know how to rule nobody. So they just got bit in the fire. And they didn't know what they were doing, but God, whatever they was doing was evil, going wrong. They was doing evil. They wasn't doing the ways of the Lord.
Right.
They all done evil. So Jehoiakim was only 18 years old when he was appointed king.
Yes.
And he didn't pass his 90-day probation.
Yeah.
3 months, 3 days, he didn't even get his benefits yet. He just enrolled in them, but he didn't even kick in yet.
Right.
He didn't even get his full checks. And then Zedekiah reigned 21 years and 11. Now remember, Jehoiakim was 11. He was only 21 years old. And what happened to him, that he was he was not humble, and yet again, he rebelled. And everything that was told to him, he took it with a grain of salt. Like, man, I ain't worried about y'all. I'll do what I gotta do. And that's when everything started falling apart. God sent his messengers and told you, hey, get it together.
Right.
You don't want these other prophets coming in here and telling you good things. I'm trying to tell you how the brand things and how to work the right way. You working the wrong way. You leaving all these other ones coming in here. That's the same thing with the church. This is the same thing with the church. You let prophets come in here, and you don't. You see, the ones the prophets are appointed by God, and the ones that know. And sometimes you have to peep what they say. If there's something good about the church, those are the ones you want to keep around. But if there's something good about certain people, and also you're gonna get this house and you're gonna get money like this and that and this, all of the glamour stuff. It's like, oh, wait a minute.
Pay attention.
You gotta pay attention to that. It's a fee.
Yeah.
It's a fee. They be on television too. They be on television. It's a fee to them. You gotta beat them things. But those are the kings, and they all fail.
Yes.
Every last one. Every last one of them failed, and Pete only lasted 3 and 11 years. And they were all young.
Yeah.
So as we dive in, what Deacon Rice just spoke about, that God sent his messengers, the messengers to the Jews and told them, hey, and this is Jeremiah. He was like, hey, y'all need to stop what y'all doing, because y'all not doing the other thing, because y'all still sacrificing, y'all still worshiping other gods, and not doing what y'all supposed to do. You're not noticing the 10 Commandments. So why is y'all worshiping other gods? Y'all know y'all guys is jealous.
Right.
So, and they was just, and then, because God was showing compassion. He was showing compassion, because we all saw the movie Titanic, right? When the captain got that telegram in his hand, and it showed he got the message of warning that icebergs was in the facility. He just looked at it and said, and looked at Rose and said, "Oh, not to worry." And he was pushing more faster instead of listening to the boats who was already out there, because the boats already know that, oh, you gotta watch, you gotta go slowly. You should go slow, take your time. There's no need to rush. There's icebergs out here, and it's cold out here. You don't want to be sailing into it and hitting. But he took it with a grain of salt. He was like,
this big boat.
Yeah, it don't matter. This is unsinkable ship. So he said, "Oh, not to worry. We're gonna break this time." So he makes him go fast, and this is the same thing in this case. The messages told the Jews, "I need to stop and stop doing what y'all doing, because it's not gonna go well for you if y'all don't stop. It's gonna go left, completely left." So somebody read 16, because God was showing compassion. So somebody read 16.
But they mocked the messenger of God and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people till there was no remedy.
No remedy.
Yes. You went too far. Yes.
Went too far. Because what when it says misuse, what do they mean by misuse?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. Yes.
That means they were just saying,
Abused him. Yeah.
it was like, man, you just talking crazy. We ain't gonna believe what you're saying. Where you getting this from anyway?
Right.
And this was Jeremiah. Jeremiah was not popular.
No.
He was just he was much of a square or a lane to them. He was like, why should we listen to you? Who is you?
Right.
Like, who's telling you this stuff?
Right.
They didn't want to believe that this was God talking through Jeremiah.
Right.
Because he could use anybody that he wanted. It could be through TV, it could be anything. And if you don't if you don't heed these warnings, it's always going to be too late.
Yes.
It's going to be too late. And this is what happens, especially in the church. When the church is at its peak and you start worrying about the work in the church, you start worrying about the outside and everything else around it. And your fellow OGs in the church, like your deacons, your trustees, all that was here with you in the beginning of the time, they'll say, hey, you need to slow down a little bit. You're losing your edge. And that's what happened to Rocky. He lost his edge in Rocky 3.
Jesus.
He lost his edge, didn't he, Mom? Apollo said he lost his edge. He got all into the glitz and glamour and forgot.
Yeah.
Because you got to be prepared. Because the worst things, because Mickey always said to you, he always said the worst things that can happen to you, that can happen to anybody, even anybody that you got civilized.
Yeah.
Rocky got civil with the people.
He
forgot he wasn't training like he used to. He wasn't running like he used to. And when he fought Clubber Lane, it was too late. And he saw what happened. And Mickey passed out, died in the locker room because he wasn't listening. Mickey was stressed. He was trying to tell Rocky. He was trying to tell Rocky, you need to get back into it. But Rocky wouldn't listen. He was all fed. He was just because he's the champion. He don't need to train that hard.
Jesus.
He didn't. He heard the message, but he took Mickey less very lightly. He didn't take Mickey seriously no more. It didn't have the same effect. And same thing. They didn't take God seriously in this point. God was like, okay.
We've been doing this for years.
I'll be back. And that's what he came back. So this is where it gets very, very interesting. So somebody read 17 and 18.
Therefore, he brought upon them the king of the Chaldeans, who slew their young men with the sword in the house of their sanctuary, and had no compassion upon the young man or maiden, old man, or him that stooped for age. He gave them all into his hand, and all the vessels of the house of God, great and small, and the treasures of the house of the Lord, and the treasures of the king, and his princes, all these he brought to Babylon.
My God, Nebuchadnezzar, yes.
Yeah, so the king Nebuchadnezzar, they came in there and just exterminated everything.
Yeah, that's it. That's the
They
good
just
word.
exterminated everything, like an Independence Day.
Yes.
Them destroyers came in there and they exterminated all the major cities.
Yes.
Nothing was left, just very little. In this case, same thing. Yeah. This is what happens when you don't believe. This is one of the guys' raps. It's one of his bags. He uses one of the enemies. Set camp, scouted. All right, we're gonna go right there and just nothing.
No mercy.
And this is what happened when you don't listen.
Yes.
This is what happened. Y'all saw Scarface. He
My
was at the top of the mountain.
God.
And everything just dropped just like that.
Jesus.
Because you have to remember, especially in the church house, when you did wrong, and you know you did wrong, consequences.
Yes.
Members start leaving.
Jesus.
You see your tithes looking a little funny. You see your musicians walking out. You see your musicians walking out. Now you got a big old building with no people in it. You lucky to just have your helpmate. That's it.
Lord, my God. Woo.
You be lucky enough to have that.
Teach it, man. Teach it.
So everything was gone. And then in this case, they killed the young man.
Yeah, babies and everything.
Everything. That's like King Leonidas said, we just gonna kill everybody as far as slaughter them completely.
Jesus.
And this is what happens when we don't listen.
Yes. Lord.
And this is the conquest. This is all this destruction starts.
This is complaint.
That's when you getting your whooping. And it's gonna hurt.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hurting.
Jesus.
The Jews is hurting right now because they seen everything that they built, like everything they built had gone. Next thing you know, you see the king walking out with his treasure stuff all covered up, like we're gonna take this before they start coming closer to where we at. We gonna because this is what happened because the church houses, then especially the church that they built up.
Yeah.
Why? Because it was polluted.
It
was polluted.
Polluted, yeah.
It was polluted. When you bring polluted people in here, it's gonna happen. Your church starts to come. Because when you bring all these other people in here, that's not right, and you know they're not right. And even your people say they're not right, but you really don't believe them anyway.
No discipline.
They already caused a virus through the church already. From spreading rumors, fighting against those troublemakers in the church. And we all have, and we get every point in time, and it was a troublemaker in a church.
Oh, Judas.
Like we have to remember, we have to keep mindful that you always have to listen, because if you don't, you'll take it for granted. So, 19 is going with it. Because but somebody read 19 though. Somebody read 19.
And they burnt the house of God, and break down the wall of Jerusalem, and burnt all the palaces thereof with fire, and destroyed all the goodly vessels thereof.
Like I said, they destroyed everything, even the church that they built.
No respect for the church.
Like the church that swiped away one of the hurricane. Swiped some churches away. We ain't gonna say but we will say it's because of natural disaster. It was a reason behind it.
Come on, dig a little deeper.
I'm just being straight up. It's like it's a reason why the church is not standing no more. It ain't not existing. Not like it used to. Because now and then especially now, because you come from churches where they hate their people, and when something happens, then it spreads, you lose it. So
virus,
probably got you dead. So let's keep going. This is what we're gonna go into.
Two more verses.
We're still in conquest. So somebody read 20 and 21.
And them that had escaped
the remnant,
from the sword, carried away to Babylon, where they were servants to him and his sons until the reign of the kingdom of Persia, to fulfill the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah, until the land had enjoyed her Sabbath. For as long as she lay desolate, she kept Sabbath. Fulfilled 70 years.
What's
70 years.
7 years.
The score is 20. The score is 20.
70.
70 years. He said they gonna serve 70 years.
7 years rebuild what they lost.
And
the
land gonna rest for 70 years.
They're gonna work. They're gonna start all over. Build a whole new city, build a whole new church. You're gonna start. God said, "I'm gonna start from scratch." From land that's vacant.
Yes.
Because when you tear down, because when I had to tear down my dwelling place,
Yeah.
my home,
Yeah.
and y'all gonna build me a new one.
Right.
This is God saying, y'all gonna build a new one.
Right.
And y'all gonna work.
Jesus.
And y'all gonna do everything right this time. It was 70 years. And then this is what happens because now you have to redeem yourself. Now you got a redemption. And then you got to show God that you're going to do better this time. Because y'all had the warnings.
Yeah.
Y'all played with me.
Yes.
Y'all took me lightly. Now y'all see what I did.
Yes.
Do y'all want this to happen again?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to get mine.
Right.
And he will.
Yeah. He said, well, you supposed to have been letting this land rest every 7 years. You haven't been doing it. You've been greedy. You've been making the land work for all year. For 70 years, guess what? You're going to pay back. You're going to pay back those years that you didn't follow my instructions.
And they're going to have a manual this time.
Yes.
Because the Jews, they was hurt. They hurt. They were just going through the pressure on that, like how people came from the Titanic.
Yeah.
They saw that sink ship, ones in the water, especially Rose when she saw especially Rose when they saw that ship sink, they were so defeated. Until they got rescued, they didn't talk to nobody. I mean, they was just demoralized because they lost their friends on the ship.
Right.
Some of these people in the Jews, they lost their friends, their family.
Yeah.
Girlfriend, boyfriend, brothers, sisters.
Yeah, early Holocaust.
They were demoralized.
Yeah.
And this is what happened right now. When you lose everything, it hurts real bad.
Yes.
So that's why you have to listen. When the IRS say you need to pay your taxes, pay your taxes.
Yeah.
You will lose everything. Because they don't need no
Come on.
They do not need
Take
no
everything.
come in your house. They can come in your house.
Yeah,
Take everything.
everything.
And you just gonna be in there with a building and nothing in it. Everything that
You ain't gonna be in there.
You ain't gonna be that's gonna be locked out. Shoot.
Jeez.
So what's going on right here? Now it hurts now. Now you're gonna have to start all over from scratch. Start all over.
Pay that bill.
Get in rehab. Getting away from all that. And that's what they did. That's what they had to do.
Yeah.
So now I'm getting into my first
conquest.
In here because I'm gonna get into my favorite part.
Yeah. Conquest. Yes.
So somebody read Psalms 1-6. I know me, my presence is short.
Yeah.
You want
Now go ahead.
Psalm 137, verses 1-6. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remember Zion. We hang our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they carried us away captive. We cried of us a song. And they that wasted us cried of us to birth. Saying, sing us one of those songs of Zion. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy.
My.
All right. Now this is where they the land of foreignness.
Foreign land.
Foreign land.
Mm-hmm.
It's unknown territory. I'm familiar to them.
The African.
And then
experience.
because Nebuchadnezzar, what's they called again?
Chaldeans.
The Chaldeans. They was like, ain't y'all gonna say something? What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all so sad?
Right.
What's wrong with y'all?
This meditation in here.
Because now he got them reminiscing about the good old days.
Yeah.
Because you know the reunion choir.
Take me back.
Those reunion choirs.
Yeah.
All that. What happened to the angels? What happened to the voices of praise? What happened to the mercy choir?
Yeah.
Ain't what's the rest of y'all? Why y'all so sad and everything?
Yeah.
Because you know, when you be sitting when y'all be sitting at the church after a meal and stuff, and y'all see how the church is not how it used to be.
Yeah.
Y'all just say, man, remember so and so and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
He was on the pews. They was running around. They was going crazy in the corner and all the other stuff. We was having a good old time.
That black kid.
All that, and then we was all over the place.
Yeah.
And we had record, all this stuff. Y'all reminisce about the good old days. Cause me and my homies, boys, as y'all call it, we be talking about I've had the good old days, and everybody talking about their good old days. They know
they really good.
All that. Yeah. When stuff was good, when stuff was just simple.
Yeah.
And everything had a peak.
Right.
I talk about it with my coworkers all the time. If I told them, if y'all was here when I was here, it was fun. We had people, the best team, the best type of people, like good people.
Yeah.
And then everything got swept away because people didn't listen above it. Same thing with this point. They say, man, it's the good old days, man. I should have listened.
I should have listened. Yeah.
I listened, but we should have listened. If we ain't do such and such, we still would be here. If only, like I said, I wish, like in Godfather, I wish. Fast.
You got to remember what we fail to realize, or what we fail to forget. When we're growing, like in the good old days, we're growing for a reason. We don't supposed to go back because we done passed that point.
Right.
We grew from that point. Now we're supposed to take what we learned and keep it and extend it and produce more. We trying to stay where we at. God don't want you to stay where you at. You grow from where you at to bigger and better. Yeah. You can't be worried about yesterday and tomorrow is great.
Right.
And what we do, we chase for tomorrow, yesterday.
Let's go.
And the future is what God wants you looking at. Quit trying to get what you got that first time. That's like the crackhead. That first time, he's still searching for that. Searching for that first church high that you got a long time ago. God ain't gonna never give you that back. He's gonna give you something better and greater and newer. And when we realize that it's something new and something that you can't see, because now you got to understand that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things. God ain't going to keep on showing you stuff, giving you stuff without you going through some stuff. You got to realize sometimes he empty it out to build it up.
Yeah.
Preach. That's your sermon.
Part of it.
You are really preachable.
Preview. Yeah.
Well, like I said, if Sonny would have listened to Tom, he wouldn't get killed.
Jeez.
If the captain got that note, Titanic would still be up.
Right.
And then when they was talking, they heed the warning. And then when talking about, ain't y'all gonna sing? Y'all sing a little something.
Yeah.
They wasn't trying to like, because they got treated fairly. It's not like they were just at the bottom totem pole. They weren't like the slaves. They got treated kind of fair.
Right.
But because they knew of them. So, is that Ellen Rice? Ellen Rice, is that you? I need you for a moment because you know I'm going to talk about it. Because we know about the 5 heartbeats, right?
Oh, yeah.
What did Dresser do when he was leaning on that cop?
When he was leaning on what?
On the cop. What did they start doing? They started singing. But how did they sing?
Depressed.
Slow and depressed. Like, why should we need to sing? Because they say, why we need to sing? We depressed. Dresden and them start singing, I got nothing but love, so depressed.
Yeah.
Their faces were which so defeated because they got pulled over. And they just start singing. Especially in this case. They started singing, like, why should I sing? It ain't gonna mean much because our stuff is going. Because I'm in a foreign land. Right. So yeah, you in a foreign land because look what you did.
Right.
You gotta remember what you did. It's gonna be unfamiliar to you. So that's the lesson. Now just heed the warnings, pay attention to the warnings, listen to the warnings. If somebody tell you something good, listen to them. Don't just brush them off because it's a good thing. Because if you don't, it's gonna come back and it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
And this is what happened to the Jews because they didn't listen.
Jesus.
So that's my lesson.
My God. Sing a song for us.